Welcome to the JobPack podcast, where we get practical insights from job seekers and professionals in less than 10 minutes. Today's guest is Lisa Panarello, founder of Careers Advance, which specializes in training and development. Lisa's also been a JobPack facilitator, so I'm super excited to have her on board for the show. So Lisa, welcome, and why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, thank you, Debashis. I appreciate being here and being with your audience. Quickly, I'd like to just share that I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, with strong parents, 3 amazing brothers, and all the energy, realness, and great food that you can possibly imagine. So it was a wonderful journey at the young age. As the founder and CEO of Careers Advance, I specialize in professional training and development. And that means different things to different people. So for my corporate, institutional, and nonprofit clients, I do workshops and seminars and full-day trainings on anything around professional development and communication. For my individual clients, my job seekers, my success seekers, I specialize in career coaching, public speaking training, and personal branding services, including resumes, LinkedIn, and any tool that one needs to market themselves in the world. And if I can kind of really sum it up, my passion, Debashis, is to help people identify and secure what they want out of life. So whether I'm in a one-on-one coaching session or a small group setting, or if I'm on stage in front of thousands, my goal is to empower folks to make the positive change they want happen.
That's great. And I can definitely validate that people who participate in the sessions that you facilitate with JobPack found you very empowering and really excited about your facilitation.
Thank you.
And of course, that New York accent's a little bit hard to hide.
I can't hide it. I just can't. Years ago, someone actually said, "Oh, you don't sound like you're from New York. What happened?" I had to go get it back. But
so, Lisa, you've been doing this for quite a while, helping thousands of clients. What are you currently seeing in the job market?
And I'm hearing that question a lot, actually. And what I'm seeing, whether I'm speaking to recruiters or hiring managers or just folks in the world, I'm seeing movement. I'm seeing new types of jobs being created, literally new titles being born every day. And on the same token, I'm seeing some consistency in the need for hiring roles in some specific areas, such as technology, all areas of healthcare, patient side, administration. I'm seeing consistent need for accounting, financial service professionals, and construction. So those are some of the top industries that I've seen. I mean, it's been like that for years, actually, and there's still the growth in those fields. As far as what I'm seeing from the company's perspective, they are definitely shifting gears to address competition, to address industry changes, and really what consumer desires. They've got to keep up with what everyone needs in the market, so they're producing at that. And I can say that they're struggling for sure. Just like individual job seekers are struggling, companies are struggling too to kind of figure out this new world that we're heading into. But I think that's a good thing because it's presenting a variety of opportunities for job seekers to get involved in very unique conversations and find their way to be part of new solutions.
Yeah, makes sense. I definitely couldn't agree with you more. I definitely see movement. Definitely the industries that you talked about were ones that I was seeing as well. I think it was that initial period of uncertainty, and now that organizations are figuring out what the new realities looks like, not that there still isn't some level of uncertainty, they're starting to be able to move forward with their plans.
Right. And they're creating their own new reality.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it's really, to me, that's exciting as an individual because you can be part of what that decision-making looks like. You can come in and kind of create your own path,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in this environment, how do successful job seekers stand out from each other?
It's funny. Job seeking is never fun. It stinks. And if this wasn't being recorded, I'd use stronger language. It's just never fun at any age, any level. So I think successful job seekers can help themselves stand out through a variety of ways. And if I narrow it down to 3, organization, positive attitude, and follow-up. I think successful job seekers don't go into their process haphazardly. Successful job seekers benefit from developing a plan of attack and having a targeted campaign, not just kind of hitting the send button, really knowing what they're looking for and directing their energy to where they want to go. Another way they can help themselves stand out is by networking with purpose. Successful job seekers do not ask for jobs. Who's hiring? Any openings at your company? That's not an effective approach. Instead, successful job seekers actually ask for advice and opinions. That to me is really the true purpose of networking. And then they keep in touch. I think once we send in a job posting or we have a networking conversation, it seems to then stop. The conversation shouldn't stop there. So if you want to set yourself apart, I think it's about keeping in touch with recruiters, with hiring managers, and your professional contacts. Successful job seekers share. They share updates, they share insights, and they stay visible in their field, whether it's out in the person, like at a conference or at meetings. Today, I know it's really virtual, but that's okay too. You can stand out on LinkedIn and make yourself visible. So I think two things here that maybe come out of what I've just shared is patience is a virtue and activity will breed results. So.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. So much of what you said just resonates with my own approach, as well as what we promote at JobPack in terms of just being very organized, thinking of that as a process, and really, I think the sharing aspect and helping other job seekers is so critical in terms of just getting out of your own head, and then and then just having all of that come back to you.
Yeah, there's no one answer. Again, this is not easy for anyone. I work with executives, C-suite, to your entry-level professionals, your return-to-work professionals. Everyone has their challenge and their liability in the market. So that's why I love what I do as a career coach, to help them throughout all the nuances. So hopefully your listeners kind of take away those 3 nuggets about organization, staying positive, and really just following up with all your connections.
Definitely. What's the best piece of advice, right? Whether you're trying to stand out or not, like, what's the advice that most people are missing, or the most valuable?
Not easy to narrow it down to 1 or 2, but I've kind of think I'd like to provide 3. 3 is a magic number. 3 suggestions. I guess to me, they're hard and fast rules to follow. Number 1, as a job seeker, stop searching for job security. I'm hearing folks when they're thinking, when I ask them, what are you looking for? I want something that's going to last. I want to be with a company for a long time. It's a futile exercise, because job security doesn't exist, hasn't existed for decades. We really have to change our mindset these days, because even the most socially responsible and caring company cannot promise to stay in business forever or employ people forever. So I say, focus your mind, on self-security, which leads me to 2 other suggestions. One being, be open to pivoting in your career, whether that means pivoting in position, function, the whole industry, or even geography. Flexibility is going to be critical to career survival. And lastly, I think keep adding to your brand value. As a job seeker, we should work to always improve what we offer so that you can remain employable for years to come, no matter what happens. So whether it's a course, a seminar, getting involved in a special projects, or a volunteer engagement, a few different things a year can help you build new skills, gain different experience and perspectives, and of course, connections. I do that myself. I'm not a great learner, so I'm not saying that it is easy. I've had to work my way around new ideas and thoughts and even skills, especially when it comes to technology. So over the years, I've gotten a certification. I'm learning new technology and software today, little bits here and there. They're efforts that I think are especially important if you're not working, because you don't want to show your market that you're sitting idle, and you don't want your resume to start having too far of a gap of anything that's worth noting. So you want to show that you're not sitting idle, but that you're learning and or contributing. And you can add all these little nuances to your resume so it stays up to date, which By the way, we should do that once a year. Our resume should always be ready in our back pocket for any opportunity that comes or when that anvil drops, you know.
Yeah, no, that's really great advice. All of that's hard hitting. I think personally, yeah, I kept my resume up to date at all times. Especially as there were things that looked like an accomplishment to add on. Didn't want to forget about those things as they were occurring. So great advice.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
And I train on that and coach on whether I'm doing a seminar, workshop, or say one-on-one. It's about evolving your brand. Companies have to evolve. You don't see Blockbuster anymore. There's so much, Toys R Us, where are they? There's a lot of companies that go under for various reasons, but one main reason is they're not evolving. So I think we should treat ourselves like a corporate brand and continue to evolve in order to keep ourselves employable.
Yeah, absolutely. So just out of curiosity, what was your first job?
My first job professionally was Seiko Hattori Corporation, the watch company. You don't hear much about them in the world today, but I was 19 years old. I was living with two of my brothers in a 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. So, we were tight siblings. And my whole dream was to be an art director. So starting at 19 in the city, right near Radio City Music Hall, I was with the customer service department, but I was going to start navigating my way towards that art director role. So it was really an exciting time for me. And customer service really started me to understand people and, off to the races after that.
That's fantastic. Great story. Great to have you on. Thank you so much. Lisa Panarello from Career Advances. I'll put the contact information for Lisa in the show notes. And I want to thank you for tuning in. JobPack is a virtual job club that connects job seekers to accelerate job seeking success. And you can find out more about us at jobpack.co. You can also subscribe to the podcast there or on other major podcasting platforms. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Knock 'em dead, everyone.